I got some bad news for everybody. Albert Breer was on yesterday on Afternoon Drive. That's bad news enough. Here's Albert Breer, where he was. Boy, he was. When you have to apologize, 3 times during the interview, going, guys, I'm not trying to be mean to you.
I'm not trying to sound like the most mean-spirited person who's ever done an interview with you for the 3rd time.
It's pretty nasty. Here is Breer being
guys,
brutally.
I'm not trying to be condescending as I talk down to you for the 5th time today.
Here's Breer being brutally honest. Go ahead.
Those plays where he drifts, and now all of a sudden he's like screwing his tackles over, right? Like, so his tackles are kind of blocking to a spot, and he is like backing into that spot. Those plays have resulted in big hits. On other plays, he's getting pressure from the middle. Do you trust that this week all of a sudden he's going to start stepping up in the pocket, or is he going to reinforce bad habits?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what the practice is for now.
I mean, can you simulate that in practice?
Against Myles Garrett and Mason Graham, I think he might be able to.
In a week?
Well,
do you think that bad habit that he had for 4 years in college is going to be solved in a week of practice? I don't know.
Yeah, Nick knows the answer to that. It's not. Sunday's not going to go well.
Oh, my God.
I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to do this for effect. I hope this, guys, I want to be dead serious about this. I hope this is one of the worst takes that I've ever had, and I hope this is played in perpetuity.
It'd be amazing.
Sunday's going to go rough. Sunday's going to be a bad day, and we need to prepare ourselves for that. 4:25 or 4:05, I forget what time the game's starting. It could be 9 in the morning. I don't care. It ain't going to go well. It's not going to go well.
You don't think there's any shot?
No.
It's the Raiders.
It's 1 week, and you're doing things that, again, and Jordan Reed brought it up, these are terminal issues. The drifting in the pocket, you're exactly right. You don't have great tackles. The Raiders are a bad team. Guys, you've already lost to one bad team. You're not a good team. You're bad.
We're underdogs.
Good. You're not good. So to go, the Raiders, it's like, well, you lost to the Jets. And you lost to the Jets on the road. You haven't won a road game in 13 or 14 games. I lost count. You haven't won a game in a Western time zone or Pacific time zone since 2013.
No, come on.
And this is the group that's going to change that.
That's true.
Against the Raiders, oddly enough. So maybe they will be the one that changes that. But I just don't think. It might end up like a Browns home game where a lot of people are going out to Vegas, so maybe you got that. But the problem is you've lost a lot of games at home, too, recently. So I don't know if that really matters. It's not going to go well. And I hope, I want to look right into the camera and say, I really, really, really hope I'm wrong. But what Albert says, and there's a lot of things that I just don't want to hear from Albert a lot of times, and I'll stop there because I don't want to end up in a meeting. He's right. You got.
Well, he's just totally dismissing him. He's like, why are you guys in Cleveland are talking a lot of Shedeur Sanders? Yeah. That's how it sounded.
And that's because this is, and I'll say this. This is maybe my problem here. I don't want to say my problem with Albert Breer. I think that he's talking in so many parts in the interview yesterday. You guys got to hear it, 923thefan.com. I mean, at 10 o'clock you can hear it, but I want you to listen to us right now.
It's must listen.
I think he's talking to his mentions. I think he's talking to people on the internet, again, the Dennis 6969, Firecrotch 87, who are yelling at him about Shedeur being the second coming. And I can understand that. I think you've done it. I think we've all done it to a certain degree. We've all had a guy in our head on the internet, and we've spoken to them through the radio. It's happened. And I think that's what he's doing, because I don't really hear that type of Albert Breer on anybody else. And yes, well, why are you guys talking about it? Because, frankly, I knew going in it was a hope. I mean, again, when you say fifth-round pick, fifth-round pick. There's a lot stacked against him. And I think that ultimately, judging by one half of football, which is not fair, but I can only go by what I've seen, I think he made the wrong decision. I think he probably should have went to the Ravens and studied for a year under Lamar. Or he should have went, what was the other team that was talking about taking him? The Eagles.
Eagles, yeah.
He should have went to the Eagles and studied for a year under Jalen Hurts or something like that. But now you're playing and you got what you wanted. And I have the blind leading the blind. I'm in no position right now to bring up a young quarterback that is a developmental quarterback. I don't have time to develop anybody. And so you knew he was going to play. You had a feeling he was going to play sooner than later. He was going to play before he was ready. The entire situation, I look at it and I go, well, they said, they leaked out to Ian Rappaport, well, we're going to give him a week of practice. Well, what's a week of practice going to do before you started the guy? Changing out the offense and doing some other things. Was that really going to help? Was that really going to help a whole lot? No.
By the way, it's not a week. We talk week of practice. Like, you go into the meetings on Monday. But you don't actually do anything till Wednesday.
And
so it's
honest,
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday walkthrough.
Yeah.
You don't do much on Friday.
You got a Wednesday practice, you have a Thursday practice, you have a Friday pseudo, and then Saturday you're traveling, or Friday, maybe you're traveling Friday afternoon, I'm not sure, because it's a Western, it's a
so you're not
Pacific
getting
time.
a normal full practice
so
Friday.
You got basically 3 days to get this thing ready, and then there's mental reps. Well, again, as Brian Hoyer had said yesterday, how can you really have mental reps when you have, again, a rookie quarterback playing ahead? It's the blind, again, leading the blind, for the love of God. So I don't think Sunday's going to go well. I hope most of you can talk me out of that thought, and I hope that I end up being wrong. But I think I'm going to be brutally right, and by 7 o'clock on Sunday, I'm just going to be sitting there with my thumbs crossed and my hands together and thinking about ways to not have to play Deshaun Watson. Because I'll be honest with you, again, let me take the headphones off for a second. I can't hear anything else except myself and you. This is what this was about. I was trying to get through the entire season without having to talk about Deshaun Watson playing again for the Cleveland Browns and having to deal with any of that. And I did not foresee us trading away 2 of the veterans and having to force Dylan Gabriel sooner. I didn't foresee Joe playing as poorly as he did because he did not play well at the beginning of the year. And here we are.
Yeah, we're on our 5th.
It's almost like I'm having a press conference over a bad loss right now. I apologize.
We are on our 5th guy, if you think about it.
So we're on our 5th guy. I'll put the headset back on, but that's where I'm at. And I was so desperate.
And some guys in the building might have wanted Zappy to be the 5th guy.
Probably. Desperate is the word I keep using because that's what I was. I was so desperate to find something. And what I got upset about, like I get upset about it with you. I got upset about it with you, and I get upset about it with other people. It's like, well, they'll just throw him out there and I don't care. We spent a lot of time talking about him. People have bought his jersey. People clearly care about him. Whether they've met him or not, they clearly care about the guy. He's a very popular quarterback. He's a very strong fan base. And I don't just want to be like, you know what, the hell with it. No, this is our own time. This is our emotions that we're playing with. And I just have felt so often that if I just protect my emotions and say, I don't care, then I become like a lot of other guys who have done this in the past. And I just flat out refuse to do it. It was sometimes to my own detriment. So I can only be as clearly honest as possible. These are things that cannot be fixed in 3 days of practice. And they're not going to be fixed in 3 days of practice. And it ain't going to go well on Sunday.
The line is not getting any better, right?
No.
This week, you have no reason to believe the offensive line.
I hope I'm wrong, guys. I've never hoped I was wronger. I don't know if that's a word. I've never hoped I was more wrong about a take in my entire life. 18 years doing this. I've never hoped I was wrong more in my life than I am right now. I don't think Sunday's going to go well, and I'm looking at the phones. There's nothing there. I think you guys all agree with me. I think you all agree with me. I think everybody has a very bad feeling about this, and a lot of people are just protecting their feelings going, well, Ken, what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of?
Well,
I'm afraid of having to waste more time talking about guys that just don't come to fruition. Because you guys know this isn't a good setup for anybody in the 5th round, let alone him, who's a very popular guy. It wasn't a good setup for Dorian Thompson-Robinson, who is a 5th round guy. And it ain't going to be a good setup for Shedeur Sanders. This is where we're at. So I think you have a defense right now that is flatly Super Bowl quality, and it will boil my guts on Sunday to see them have to play against the Raiders and their own offense on Sunday afternoon. You want the truth? There it is. And I'm not even loud. I'm not mad. I'm not shaking red. You wanted the truth, everybody? You got the unvarnished truth. I'm not giving hope. I'm just giving the straight facts of how I see it. My unvarnished opinion of how things are going to go on Sunday, and it ain't going to be fun. Hi. You got anything else? Do you want to fight? You don't even want to push back on that.
Well, I'm not pushing, but the thing I said, and the reason I said house money yesterday is because I already had arrived to the conclusion that I kind of think you've gotten to this week. But that doesn't mean that I'm not like kind of excited to see if he is really that guy that can. Well, hold on now. I want to give him a chance.
I want to as well, but I don't think he's going to get a chance.
But I have so many Shedeur people getting after me. I mean, they're finding me on Instagram and Facebook. I don't even use Facebook, and I found these messages calling me all sorts of names and that I've had
the ones who brought your daughter into it are beyond the pale. That's disgusting.
Well, that I've had this vendetta against the Sanders family. I'm like, well, you didn't hear us for 2 years get excited about. We were doing a Colorado recap every day, every Tuesday and Thursday, like talking about how exciting this was, what was going on in Boulder. I had my questions about whether any of that translated to the next level. By the way, I had those questions about Travis Hunter, too.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for Travis Hunter, it's just been a disaster. It's good for the Browns, but it's been a disastrous
It's a shame. I'm not going to celebrate a guy getting injured. I know you're not either.
No.
I know you're not either.
But like, to see the messages and accusing me of being the worst kind of individual you could possibly be because I have my doubts about Shedeur, I do want to hold out hope that it would be kind of awesome to have all this shoved in my face. I've had stuff shoved in my face before. Like, it'd be great for the show, for him to be great. Of course, it'd be great for Cleveland if he would be able to turn this around. It'd be a great national story. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Let me talk to the Shedeur fans personally. You guys know I like Shedeur Sanders.
I think he seems like an awesome dude.
Well, beyond that, I loved his father, and I still do. And it bothers me to say it. For everybody who loves Shedeur, this isn't Rex Ryan. I'm not putting all this on him for the love of God. I'm not doing that. Like, I got very upset with what Rex Ryan said on Monday. I thought that was ridiculous. Him staring on the sidelines by himself, sitting there. Like, yeah, I think he's coming to a realization just how hard this is going to be and just how far behind he is. For the fans who are just with us because they like Shedeur, listening to us just because they like Shedeur, they're not even Browns fans. What have you guys been saying about this coaching staff and this organization over the last how many months? It is going to take something completely illogical for this to go very well on Sunday. Completely illogical. He will have to suspend belief. And I tell you this, I really, really, really hope they make a fool of me. I will celebrate being the fool. I'll wear a dunce cap in here if I have to. I don't even know if they make those anymore. I'll do what's necessary because it would take a Herculean effort by him. And it would take a Herculean effort by this coaching staff to change some of the things that we saw in one half of football and change them in 3 days that Jordan Reed, Albert Breer, Dane Brugler, a lot of people have lined up and said, these are mistakes, these are habits that you really just can't fix in a very short amount of time. So that's where I'm at on this. It's not just a Shedeur thing, guys. It's not just on him. I'm not saying that if he would have had a year, maybe by next year, something like that, he doesn't get that time here. He doesn't get that time here. We are not the right place. It is not the right situation. And I think Sunday is not going to go very well. I really, really, really hope I'm wrong. Am I getting hammered in the mentions?
Not hammered.
I responded to one because he's been a listener for a long time.
There's one I saw in the YouTube chat. Somebody says, where's Garrett Bush? Where's G. Bush when we need him?
Oh, ask Garrett what he thinks of the coaching staff. Again, you have the coaching staff that you guys all want the staff gone. And they're going to lead the developmental guy. And that's going to be a recipe for success on Sunday? Hey, the best thing you got going for you is you're playing against a bad team. Like, your defense could play very well, and you beat the Green Bay Packers with your offense or with your defense. But I think in so many ways, your defense is going to have to line up and play against the Raiders and their own offense. And, who knows what special teams we'll get. So basically, you have a defensive unit playing against one team and 2/3 of another. That's kind of how that's going to go. Look, Sean, social media reactions brought to you by Scheib & Jewelers, Cleveland's premier jewelry store. Sean's never liked anything I had to say. Because if I'm over exuberant, then I'm way too excited, but now I'm just Debbie Downer here. Sean, good God, Ken, you're the most knee-jerk reaction person ever. One dude changed your whole outlook on this kid. I'm not even confident, but hell, let's watch the same amount of games played as Gabriel before the damn roof collapses. I'm not comparing him to Dylan Gabriel. I'm comparing him to the situation that he's in. It's not Dylan Gabriel. I'm not saying, it's not put Dylan Gabriel back out there. Go ahead, let him in. I just don't think it's going to go very well. And by the way, that's not Albert saying that. Albert speaks through a lot of different people around the NFL who's looking and seeing this and don't think much. The chickens are coming home to roost in so many ways. Hope I'm wrong. I really, 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 you guys know where I stand with the team. You know where I stand with the fans. I want them to go well. I want them to do well. I want them to win. God, do I want them to win. And I hope I'm wrong. But if if the same people who are getting mad over what I think is going to happen on Sunday, ask yourself, when Dylan, and I'll make the comparison to Dylan now. What did you think of the coaching staff when he was in there? When things weren't going well on Sunday, what did you think of the coaching staff when Shedeur was in there? What did you think of the offensive line? What did you think of the plays? What did you think of the receivers?
Well, they got no running game either.
Okay. So
we like Judkins, and they have no running game.
Judkins breaks off these 20-yard runs, and somehow he averages 3.4 yards a carry.
What does that tell you about the other 18 carries?
Exactly. Like, it's not that they're hapless. There is some gold in their hills, but it just doesn't add up. So I'm not protecting my own feelings. Guys, it kills me to say this. I was up. I'll be honest with you. I woke up at 1 a.m. this morning. I've been up ever since. It bothers me so badly to tell you this. Of anything, I think we might be the only real show left in the whole business, for the love of God. Understand that I'm telling you the absolute truth here. Is I hope it goes well. I just don't see how this does. Because it's not Albert, it's a lot of people in the NFL who says these things to him. Because again, he's sitting there going, why are you guys sitting there grinding your gears over a 5th-round pick? Why are you doing that? That's not Albert. That's a lot of people in the NFL going, you guys are grinding your gears over a 5th-round pick. And we say he's developmental. And if he's developmental, how am I going to develop him in a week? How am I going to develop him in a week? I'm sorry, did we not start off Monday arguing about the lack of reps that he got? Did I not nearly come over the table at you with the lack of reps that he got? He's going to get reps now, so he's going to be that good that quickly? Ooh. I hope he is.
Ooh, I don't know.
I hope he is.
Hold on.
Guys,
do we have to be consistent? Do they have to listen to Cam Newton? Does Bailey Zappi need to get a bunch of reps this week so he can be ready in case he comes into the game?
It doesn't matter. No. Sunday won't go well, and then we'll decide to line up and blame whoever we want so we can get our clicks. I'm just telling you guys right now how I think it's going to go. Because wrap your head around the realism of this. If you don't think they're good, and he was a product of that on Sunday, or a victim even if you want to, how are they going to fix it in 3 days? You yelled at me earlier this week going, Ken, why on earth would you still think it was going to go well even if they did start him without any reps and now he was going to have a week of practice and all of a sudden fix all that? You said that, and so many of you lined up and said the same thing. So I'm basically only saying the same thing back to you guys. And for the ones that are, again, they are not Browns fans, they are listening to us because they are Shedeur fans, ask yourself what you've been saying about the organization since April. Since OTAs, since they really started practicing with him. Ask yourself what you've been saying about everything since they first got Shedeur Sanders. So you have to hope for something unrealistic. The only thing there is hope. That's all we got. 216-474-0092. You can win the game. The Raiders are a terrible football team. They are a really bad team. You're also 2-8. You got a great defense going for you, so you might lose that game 3-0. You may very well lose that game 3-0. You may win that game 3-0. Hell, you might turn them over and get the ball in the red zone and be able to get a field goal. But I just don't think it's going to go very well. I just don't think so.